living without a piano for 3 months was very hard. And not only because like I love making tutorials for you guys and teaching people how to play piano, but because like on those evenings where I just wanted to sit down and play something and sing songs with my kids, I wasn't able to. It was just really weird. I actually had this one moment when I came to my room and I took my guitar because I'm like, at least I have a guitar, and I was trying to like just like sing and worship, and I was trying to make that like sound with my guitar, like that like super soothing piano sound, and I just couldn't. Like the strings make a completely different sound, and I was like, ah. And I actually had this really sweet lady, Kiara. She reached out to me from, I guess, from a company that makes pianos, and they offered me a free piano. Isn't that so sweet? Like I was planning to get a piano for this house, but with all the remodel things, like there's so much other things that are on my mind, like, you know, ordering shower curtains and like little things like that I didn't even think about like ordering the piano. But when she offered, she's like, hey, you know, we could send you a piano so that you can keep doing tutorials. And I was like, that is the sweetest thing ever. So sweet. And they gave me like a choice between like the regular black keyboards, you know, like the regular keyboards that are black, you know, and then they sent me this one too, the one that I picked, and oh my goodness, the way that the keyboard just stands, it's so beautiful. There's no need for like a keyboard stand. It has its own standalone legs that are like wooded, and so when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, like I love this one. It's gonna match the style of our house because we're doing a lot of like wood details. And so I'm like a super visual person. Like I love when a piano looks appealing. Like, I don't know if you guys know, like I got a piano back in the day, like 3 years ago, and it was brown, and I had to paint it ivory because I'm so visual. I love when a piano is like this like statement piece in the house. Anyway, and so when I saw this wooded one, I was like, oh, I love it so much. But at the same time, like, you know, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I kind of just like, I was kind of afraid, like, what if this is like gonna be a super cheap, you know, keyboard that's gonna come in a small box and I'm gonna have to like unfold it. Like, I don't know, I was just kind of like afraid. What if it's like a super like, you know, low quality keyboard? And when it arrived, the box was really huge. And so that made me realize like, whoa, actually this looks like it's probably a really, you know, it's probably a really nice keyboard. It's not just like some cheap small box where I have to like, you know, I don't know. I didn't have high expectations, I guess, let's just say that. Anyway, and so when it came, it was this huge box, and you know, I opened it, the legs were like super sturdy. It had like, you know, a ton of metal pieces to it and stuff. And the only thing we had to do for setup is to just put the legs on. That was it, which was really cool. But honestly, I was just blown away. Like when I was able to just get my hands on it and just feel that wooded texture, it just feels like a real piano. And especially when I press on the keys, since they're fully weighted, it's just the feel of it and the look of it really remind me of a real piano, but without that like super heaviness of a real piano. And for example, I love that I could just place this next to a window and it doesn't close the window. It still brings a ton of light in, and it's just the way it stands in the room is just perfect for what we were looking for. So enough about the visual stuff. I just wanted to talk about like the pros and cons about what like I love about this piano and things that I don't really like. The first thing that I really love about this piano is I love the way it looks. That is like the biggest, you know, positive thing for me. The second thing that I really like, and this might not be a great thing for a lot of people, but I actually like the fact that it has one piano sound. I know a lot of people are probably like, what? But I feel like, especially because I have kids, they really start appreciating the piano as a piano. Like, you know, I've had a keyboard in the past where the kids come in and they'll turn on the drums, they'll turn on the like fireworks sound, and they'll like play with it, and then they'll run away, and that's it. And they just use it as a toy. Like, I could buy them a toy keyboard for that kind of stuff. But this, They come, and if they sit at this keyboard, they know that it's a piano. It makes the piano sound, period. Like, it doesn't make any other firework or whistling or bird chirping sounds. It's just a piano, and I actually really like that because I have a 6-year-old who's learning right now, and she just plays, and there's not much choices, if that makes sense. And that's actually a really positive thing for me. Another thing that I love is that it comes with 3 pedals, which makes it like an absolute like real piano, because I think usually keyboards come with just 1 pedal. I really appreciate those 3 pedals because you really can play around with the sound, even though there's 1 piano sound, but you can add that sustain. You can also add like a damper that makes the sound like just softer. And then you can add another, with the middle pedal, you can make it more bouncy. Anyway, there's like, you can kind of play around with the sound. It's just like a real piano. My other favorite thing about this piano is that I could hook it up to a laptop, which is like such a big deal if I want to like ever record my own music or use it as like a MIDI device. Or if I ever want to add like pads to the sound or like change the sound a little bit, I can always do that just by hooking it up, which is awesome. And then I think my last favorite thing is the fact that the interface or the top of the keyboard is super clean. So there's no like buttons on top of it, there are no like screens, nothing flashy, just like a real piano. And the only controls that you have are in the back, and it's that power button and the volume control, which is really cool. It's super hidden, and it really feels like a real piano because even the controls are just in the back, and when you look at it from the front, it's just super clean, and I love that. And now the negative things about this piano, honestly, it was really hard to come up with like the cons, the negative things about this piano, just because I feel like it does the job of replacing another, like a real piano. It has 1 piano sound, it has 3 pedals, it's so great. But I think for some people, the thing that might bother them the most is the fact that it does only have 1 piano sound. Like, it doesn't have, 4 piano sounds to choose from. It doesn't have like reverb to add on. Then again, I think it comes down to like, do you want to just replace a regular piano, or do you want a keyboard that has a ton of effects, a ton of buttons, a ton of, things that you can add? So it kind of comes down to like what the piano is made for. For me personally, I just wanted it to replace a regular piano where like the kids could just come and play and learn to play piano, the fully weighted keys, everything. I think I can't really think of anything negative for the use that I need it for. If you want to hear the exact sound that this keyboard has, I'm going to go to the keyboard and record it with this microphone so that you can hear the exact tones. I did have a couple of piano players already come and kind of like play around with it just when we had them over for tea. It was really random. Like, they were just like, whoa, this sound is really cool. Like, the sound that it makes is so warm, and like, so it was really good to hear that. It was assuring because I really like the sound, but I thought it was kind of biased. I was kind of like, well, I like it. But to hear other piano players like test it out and say like, wow, I love this piano. It was just like, okay, cool. It's not just me. It's actually a really cool sound. But I will record it for you guys with this microphone so that you can hear the actual sound of it. So I'm gonna get to the keyboard right now and show you how it sounds. So this is me just playing a song. Can you hear how it's so clear? I'm gonna try out a little bit of jazz. I'm not super good at jazz, but here's my best take on it. So you notice how the keys are very sensitive. If I press on them lightly, they're light. And this is not full volume. This is about 70% volume. So bringing it back to the story that I shared at the very beginning, where I was sitting with my guitar trying to get that piano sound, I'm so beyond grateful that God just provides in the most unexpected ways. So this keyboard does get out of stock pretty quick. The lady who reached out to me also gave a coupon code, and I think it gives over $50 off, which is amazing, and free shipping. So all the details are in the description, and I'm so excited to make tutorial videos of this keyboard. I'll see you in my future videos. Bye.